college bound or not, every homeschooler needs a transcript in order to graduate high school. They're not difficult to set up, they're easy to keep up, and you don't need to pay anyone else to do it for you, because I'm going to show you how. In fact, I'm going to give you a copy of the template I used for Elizabeth's dual enrollment courses to get into dual enrollment, as well as for her college application process. And then, if you still are interested in having a second set of eyes, stay tuned to the end of the video, or click down there in the down bar, and I've got more information for you on that. Every transcript needs 5 things. One is your student's personal information, their name, full name, date of birth, social security information, those details. 2, the courses they took. 3, the credits they earned for each of those. The grades they earned, and then any additional information. Before I break those down, the one question that I had was whether to do it by subject or by year, the organization of it. Before I started, I read lots of thoughts about it. I like the idea of grouping them by subjects because we had some courses that technically went over 2 years, or ones that were in 8th grade that I wanted to include because they showed a nice variety, but I didn't want to do an 8th grade year on the transcript, so I thought I would do that. And then we went to do college applications, and they wanted them all by year. And that was for a mix of both private schools and state schools. So then I had to redo it. My suggestion to you would be, if you know where your student wants to go, then take a look at what their requirements are, and then do it that way. You can also set it up by subjects and then see what they say. If they went by year, then you can redo it. As much as I love the idea of having it by subject, I'm just setting up bins by year. Yeah. Now, let's go over each of those 5 things that you need. So like I said, your student information is just that. All their personal information, address, phone number, as well as the information for your school. If you have a school name, here in North Carolina, we are required to have a name for our schools. Why, I do not know. I think it's one of the stupidest regulations, but we do. So we put that on there, and then school information, address. If you don't have a school name, you can leave that off. Okay? Now, course names. A couple notes on these. These need to be consistent across your transcript, dual enrollment transcripts if your student's taking any dual enrollment courses, and across your course descriptions. For example, one of Elizabeth's college courses was College Transfer for Success 122. That was the official name inside the course catalog at her school. And then I put in parentheses DE. I'll get to that in a minute. British Literature, parentheses, honors inside of it. Art 1 for freshman year, Art 2, parentheses, American Art, Art 3 for junior year. And I did that because her other stuff in her sophomore year, we had an emphasis on American literature and American history. So I wanted to kind of show that there was a cohesion. Next up is the grades, just the letter grade. We used a straight A, B, C, D, F scale. If you do an A plus, B minus, those, that's fine too, whatever you do. Credits earned. Most classes that are your core classes and year long will be 1 credit. About 120 to 180 hours worth of work, 3 to 5 hours roughly a week of schoolwork for each subject. So your history, your math, science, those are probably going to be a 1 credit course. Half credit courses will be something you do just 1 semester, or usually an elective is a half credit because you're not putting in as many hours on it. So those will be 60 to 90 hours worth of work, with the exception of college classes, because a dual enrollment class will be a year-long, what would be a year-long high school course smushed into a semester at the college level. And then your notes section. So this is going to be where you do your physical signature, an official statement. I copied this from someone else, and it just says, I do hereby self-certify and affirm that this is the official transcript and record of student's name and the academic studies of the years that they were in high school. And then additional notes I put in were when we were doing college applications, some of her courses were not yet completed since we applied in her senior year, fall of her senior year. So I put a little asterisk next to those class titles. And then in the notes, I put asterisk indicates class in progress, parentheses DE denotes classes taken as dual enrollment, and then I listed our grade point average. Now you're going to update this every semester or at the end of the year as needed, and you're done. I promise it is not very difficult to do, and you don't need to pay someone else to do it. I know there are transcript services out there, but you can absolutely do this. The link for the template is down in the down bar. When you open it up, the first page has some notes on it, so make sure you read it before you do that, before you start the setup, okay? And if you're still interested in a second set of eyes, I now offer that service. I have 3 different levels of packages, starting with the transcript service. I'll go over your transcripts and I'll meet with you by Zoom. And then I have 2 other levels of packages for college application process. So, information down there. And now that you know how to set up your transcript, click on the video on your screen and go find out about writing course descriptions. I'll see you over there.